Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another brand new Jurassic World Dominion video. In today's Jurassic World Dominion video, we have a special guest in Klayton Fioriti joining with me answering the question whether or not Jurassic Park 3 is important for Jurassic World Dominion. We will also be doing another collaboration over on his channel, so if you're excited for another video, hop on over to his YouTube channel where you can find more exclusive content. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you happen to enjoy this video, and feel free to check out the merch, as recently we have brand new designs on the store with a 20% offer. However, these designs are limited edition, with the 20% offer only lasting until the 30th of June, so be sure to get yours now. But without any further ado, let's get into this podcast kind of video where we try to understand whether or not Jurassic Park 3 is important to Jurassic World Dominion. So Jurassic Park 3 is a movie that people have adored and hated throughout its lifetime. But today we have Klayton on the channel checking out, well, everything to do with Jurassic Park 3 and why it's important for Jurassic World Dominion. And basically, thanks to the Dino Tracker website, we have a lot to talk about, and firstly, I want to get your opinions on Jurassic Park 3 firstly.
Okay, thank you for having me back here, Swerve. I will say Jurassic Park 3 still to this day is my least favorite film in the franchise, but when it came out, I loved it. I begged my parents to go see the movie in theaters. It was like on a Sunday for church. They did not like The Lost World. They took me to see it. My mom walked out of Jurassic Park 3. It's a long story. But I liked it a lot back when it came out. Now, about a year later, my opinions on it waned like a lot of other fans because of the death of the T-Rex, because it was shorter than all the other movies, and because it was a little more comedic than Jurassic Park or The Lost World. With that being said, time has gone on, and time heals all wounds, as people say. I do not hate Jurassic Park 3. I think it's most comparable to a film like Anaconda from the 90s. Yeah. So it's very different from what we were used to. Now, I think what Jurassic Park 3 still does really well is incorporate Sam Neill into its plot with Alan Grant. Now, how they did that, a lot of people have criticized with the whole making it out like all he cares about is money. But having Alan Grant in a Jurassic Park story, it feels right. And the introduction and the sound design and the actual imagery of the Spinosaurus I thought was very strong. I think the highlight of the film will always be one of the greatest sequences in the franchise, the aviary scene. And I really like the embryonics administration, although you can see a crew member in the background, which is really funny in that scene. But yeah, it's like, I get where everyone comes with on Jurassic Park 3. It is very important, though, from this website, as we'll get into, because there's a lot of stuff that ties the film into what's happened to like the wider world, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's why I feel like once Jurassic World Dominion releases, everyone's going to have a complete different opinion about Jurassic Park 3. It's going to be one of those misunderstood masterpieces, I guess, in a way.
You're
but
right,
personally, I loved it, and I feel like it's just because they introduced new dinosaur species that they weren't afraid to do with Coryphosaurus and Kylosaurus and Ceratosaurus and also Spinosaurus, and they were all kind of colourful in a way, you know, like the Brachiosaurus is a good example. Yes, they're ugly. I'll admit it, they are ugly.
The raptors had a lot of coloration to them that we didn't really see.
Exactly, and it stood out a little bit more. It's a little bit vibrant, and I feel like there was a lot of secretness. I guess that's the word. About it when they went to the embryo chambers. When the Velociraptor tried to act like a beheaded Velociraptor and then scare Mando, that was pure comedy.
Yeah,
I loved it so much. But it was like there's a facility here that obviously we knew something was going on, and we never got an answer to it, which I'm hoping we will get an answer to in Jurassic World Dominion. But it's the fact that there was just something there that, you know, pushed the main plot aside. Something's gone on there, and we don't really know too much about it. So, talking of which, would you like to see that return in Jurassic World Dominion? And what else would you like to see?
Oh my God, I'd love to see the Spinosaurus come back in some sort of grand cameo where we actually hear that roar. I think that'd be very cool. I would love to see a lot of the mysteries that never got followed up on from Jurassic Park 3 explored. Like, where do the raptors come from? Why are they different variants? And I would love to see that shown in a film. Like,
Right.
we have theories and some information behind the scenes, but I think that secretness that people say they really like in the embryonics administration is something that originally was supposed to be a very large part of Jurassic Park 3 and unfortunately got cut out of the film. I would love and I don't think Dominion's going to do it, so maybe I shouldn't even talk about it then, but like, I think that Jurassic Park 3's legacy, as far as like how different Isla Sorna was in that film comparatively to The Lost World, should be explained in a film sometime down the line. But in this movie, I think what I'm looking forward to the most is just some of the species being reincorporated and some little explanations as to Site B and what's been going on since then.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, I mean, we're obviously getting Alan Grant back, and I mentioned this to you and other people before in the past, how seamless it is. Like, it's almost like no time.
I know, it just flows so nicely. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's like, there he is.
Makes me
Dr.
happy.
Grant, and it's like, yeah, it made me smile a lot too. I was like, wow, and it's like tonally consistent and everything. Is shocking. It's like, wow, this is we're gonna do this. This is what happens after Jurassic Park 3.
It's crazy.
And we're getting that. The big one is obviously Alan Grant.
Yeah.
And we know that Ellie is divorced.
Yeah.
Like, Laura Dern has said that. So, I mean, just the fact that those two characters are coming back. I had a friend, Yaroslav, who said he had a dream that there's a sequence in Dominion where they're like by a river and you just see this screwed up boat float by and it's Paul and Amanda going like, "Hi, how are you?"
Oh no.
That's just a little too I mean, it was a dream, but I was like,
I mean,
yeah, it's
talking
silly.
of which, someone, I guess, it's a possibility. He could have a cameo in the movie because of an Easter egg from this new website, and that's Paul Kirby.
So I don't think he's in the movie, but I love this Easter egg because on the website they've got a trailer that has a sticker for Kirby Enterprises. Now, if you remember, Swerve, Kirby Enterprises doesn't exist.
I know, yeah.
It's Kirby Paint and Tile Plus. But like, you can see on the like trailer sticker that they've incorporated like a Pteranodon logo in their thing. So they're trying to like capitalize on
It's
their
smart.
experience
It's smart.
and it's so something Paul Kirby would do. Like, I thought that was a hilarious Easter egg, and it does. I mean,
Thing is, but
when they get,
sorry to cut you off there. I was just thinking because going back to your previous point where you said that you don't think he'll be in the movie. What I like the fact that he's now called Enterprises instead of like Paint and Tile Plus. I was thinking that's a missed opportunity because if he does cameo in the movie, how cool would it have been? Where not only do we get the introduction of Alan Grant, but we get the cameo of Paul Kirby doing his kitchen because he promised or something, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
incredible. That would be so good.
fans have been talking about that for years, and I think it'd be hilarious if Alan Grant lives in like this really dirty trailer that's like falling apart from the 90s, and then his bathroom is like a golden toilet or something.
That would be great.
Like, it's just like really immaculate tile and paint jobs on the bathroom. But it would be funny if they had like some news footage somewhere of Paul Kirby, like
Given an interview
I guess
from
what he's
2001.
or so, like it looks like what he's been doing is trying to like sell equipment to catch dinosaurs or something,
Hey.
because he got the compy stuck in a little cage. So he's like, let me tell you all about how to catch these dinosaurs. My son was on that island for a long time when I came and saved him. Like,
They have to evolve. He has to evolve somehow, doesn't he? But it's interesting with the Pteranodon in his logo because it seems like those Pteranodons that he came face to face with in the movie, he might be, obviously, if there's a huge spin-off series about just Paul Kirby, which, Universal, if you're listening, we would love that. But, you know, if there was like something like that, he's living in this universe where not just Jurassic World Pteranodons are about, but Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodons seem to be returning in Jurassic World Dominion as well.
yeah, there's more than one. There's actually a lot.
Yeah.
They're all over that website. And
You've
they
got
look
them in
awesome.
Spain, you've got them in Canada, America, so they're everywhere.
And I like how they're forefront, like front and center.
Yeah.
Like it's straight up the Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodons. And I think what's really interesting about that is like they were the big deal in Jurassic Park 3 apart from Spinosaurus. They're even on the poster with the shadow and everything. So, and even as someone like me who has, gone on record to say like all the criticisms for Jurassic Park 3, that aviary sequence is really
it's
good.
beautiful.
It's extremely well done. So, I mean, I just the set design, everything. I think that the Pteranodons are a show stealer from that film for sure. And it's great to see that they're incorporated back in the world. So obviously these come straight out of Site B, whereas the other ones are all from like Jurassic World or something like that.
And there's really old footage now from 2001 where it was in Vancouver, where I think it's Hoskins that tried to round them up. And it's
Hoskins.
It's nice to see the archive footage.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, and I love how it's done proper to look retro. Like, I mean, that is pretty much what happened after they flew off the island in Jurassic Park 3.
It was written in the DPG website, was it? Or was it in the
Masrani
Global? Yeah.
Back in 2015. So this has been canon for almost 10 years, 7 years.
It feels more real now that we have the footage of it.
Yeah, it's also cool because like you can totally see a younger Hoskins going there, and he's like, it's always fun to see it's like a lost piece of Jurassic Park lore that's finally been uncovered. And it is very cool too to see the helicopters like swarming in to catch the Pteranodons.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not just, some people are going to be questioning how are Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodons still about, but it's not just those, I think on the website, once you do go to the Ankylosaurus section, it has a little tease towards Bumpy, talking about a blue and yellow skin pattern, but they also mention a red skin pattern, which, correct me if I'm wrong, only came up in Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, that was the only time those ankylosaurs were shown, because in the Jurassic World movies, we get a completely new clone. So, so what has basically happened in the new movie all around the world isn't just the dinosaurs that got out at Lockwood Manor. And I don't know why people think that. I guess because some people might not be paying as close attention as like other people.
I get a few comments saying about how are dinosaurs all over the globe. Firstly, the end of Fallen Kingdom kind of says it all, and dinosaurs being shipped everywhere.
Keep in mind, like half the auction took place before the Indoraptor broke out, and they got shipped to like all around the world. And then also on top of that, Biosyn has an amber mine. Biosyn took the DNA. Dr. Wu's working for Biosyn. Literally, the case of DNA at the end of Fallen Kingdom has like species we've never seen before.
Being one of them.
On top of that, like with the ankylosaurs, those come straight out of Sorna.
Right.
Like those are Sorna specific animals, which there is on the website a picture of Isla Sorna that, guess who it was taken from? Biosyn took that picture. So like they have been taking animals off the island, it seems. And I mean, the Pteranodons flew off. We've known that. Like they could go wherever they want for whenever. So
they migrate anywhere across the world. They could even go to London if they'd like. Don't think they would, but it just goes to show, dinosaurs are literally everywhere in this world. And even the website shows it. There's some in Malaysia, India, North America, South America, the UK, everywhere. So trying to hide it isn't going to go down well.
I also don't understand why anyone would think that they only got out in California after Fallen Kingdom, because like
you can see the aircraft as well.
Yeah, they're literally loaded up on like trucks and planes and like different nationalities, like Japanese and Russian, and like.
And again, not only that, but if Biosyn has the technology and technically also has Wu after the events of 2018, they're eventually going to be selling stuff. There's no way they won't distribute all of these genetic sequencing of dinosaurs and not make money from it. Of course, they're going to shoot these dinosaurs out anywhere, and when more people get control of stuff like this, more people will learn how to use it, and then there'll be more and more and more. That's just how the world goes.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the big Jurassic Park thing. It's always been like the misuse of the animals, and like, so Dude, they're all over the place, and these ankylosaurs and pteranodon are a great example. And also, there's a mention of the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptors.
Yeah, it's a very intriguing mention because, you know, there are rumors online, but we don't know how legit this is. But some people said that maybe Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptors were actually supposed to be in the movie, and they've actually been swapped out to these Atrociraptors because I think there was some leaks back in 2019 or 2020.
Oh, the Deinonychus.
Yeah, there was like an image of the Atrociraptors that we now know as Panthera and Ghost, and people were like, "Oh my goodness, they look so much like the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptors." And then rumors circulated saying that they're actually Deinonychus, and people were like, "Oh, so they've scrapped these Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptors then?" So.
Well, remember, some people were saying that they were going to retcon Jurassic Park 3 and call those Deinonychus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, there was a lot of rumors and theories going around, but, like, isn't there specific information on the website that does say that they shipped over male and female velociraptors to Biosyn headquarters?
Yeah, it's, yeah, I've got it here, sorry. Yeah, so it says KW Cargo Charters, which obviously stands for kilowatts. Yeah. Project Fly-In live cargo to Redacted, which I assume would be the Biosyn facility, from various neighbouring drop points. Now, the assets that she delivers are 3 male velociraptors and 1 female velociraptor, although that we were led to believe that Blue and Beta are the last of their kind. Obviously, Camp Cretaceous may have, you know, shot down the window with the new raptors, and now here we've got the... 3 male velociraptors and 1 female, which suspiciously adds up to the ratio of what we saw in Jurassic Park 3. And, you know, not only that, but for the Atrociraptors, some DPW agents suggest and think that Raptor DNA was used in the creation of the Atrociraptors. And that obviously makes sense because they do look quite similar, let's be honest.
They do, but I want to stress that I don't think they're hybrids.
Not hybrids.
They went out of their way. They went out of their way to say that there are not any new hybrids in this movie, but like, I do think it's very interesting that the skin patterns line up directly with like the previous Velociraptor designs. It would not shock me if more raptors from Site B did survive.
Yeah.
Or that they're even in the movie. Or, you know, in Camp Cretaceous. Because we know that Camp Cretaceous has like introduced like other raptors. So, or even the Jurassic World live toy.
Yeah.
Like they had those raptors in Chile.
There was what was it called? Omega or something like that? The orange one.
I don't remember. It's a shame that whole thing got canceled because of COVID, because that was going to be a big touring thing, which I think it's actually back now. But it had raptors. So we know, this is what we know. So Biosyn has taken photographic like a picture of Isla Sorna. They have access to the island. Ankylosaurs from Jurassic Park 3 are loose in the world, and so are pteranodons. So who's to say that the raptors from that film aren't somewhere out in the wild? I was a little let down that we didn't see the Ceratosaurus anymore.
Yeah,
because
I was bummed about that. But you know, sorry to cut you off again, but somewhere in, you know, the sighting of the Carnotaurus in Wales, it's like got a destroyed trailer. In some other countries' website for this, it says Ceratosaurus instead of Carnotaurus. So
maybe they were juggling which idea to, like, which animal to use.
So it's not, you know, obviously there might have just been a mistake because the title of it says Carnotaurus, but within the subtitle, the subcontext, it says Ceratosaurus. So it could just be a mistake. But again, you know, Ceratosaurus is loved. Let's be honest, it really is loved. And
well, they brought it back in Camp Cretaceous.
They did,
so,
and not only just one variant, but 2, and it got like 3 different screen times. One of them was only a few seconds being killed off by the Scorpius.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. There was also by the water, you know, the watering hole scene, and then
the grey Ceratosaurus,
and then where it ran out. Yeah, so I do wish that they would have shown off a new CGI model for it on the website, but it's probably not in the film, so they probably don't have access to it. You know what I mean?
It's a shame. You know, I feel like what we're missing are medium theropods like Metriacanthosaurus. Like, where the hell's that been? Come on, it's been since Jurassic Park, and we haven't seen this geezer.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really hoping.
It is weird
that I know technically the embryos aren't viable, who's to say that the DNA didn't survive somehow? And maybe it might. I'm really reaching here. I know I am, but it'd be so nice to see a sudden appearance of the Metriacanthosaurus in the Biosyn Valley because they had got the canister from Jurassic Park. That'd be great.
That'd be interesting. Or Segisaurus. Or Proceratosaurus. Yeah, there's a lot they could use that they've never shown off in the films. There's also keep in mind that like when it comes to Isla Sorna, they could have cloned anything in secret and not told people about.
But then again, they did that in Camp Cretaceous with Monolophosaurus and Aranosaurus. Clearly something
came out of
was
nowhere. Or dude, those. What about the Smilodon?
The Smilodon, yeah. But technically, Manticorp is something that we've only just started to learn about.
Sure.
They could be doing all sorts. But with because I think the DPG reported certain dinosaurs on Isla Nublar, whether that's true or not anymore, it's all up in the air for debate. But let's say for this argument that it was. The dinosaurs of Monolophosaurus and Aranosaurus were both seen in the north section of the island, which we know was restricted in Jurassic World, and that's because it was near the volcano. And were they working on some things there? I think.
Yeah, that has to be where like a lot of those animals that weren't listed in the park.
That's what I'm thinking because clearly the DPG's got some information somewhere. They've also checked out the dinosaurs that they knew were on the island. Monolophosaurus and Aranosaurus weren't reported, so obviously they were bred in secret as well.
Yeah, well, we still haven't seen Suchomimus.
As well.
I mean, there's loads, man. I mean, Allosaurus came out of nowhere in Fallen Kingdom, and they explained that they did have the DNA way back during the Jurassic Park days, but that was our first time seeing it. So there's definitely creatures and DNA that they've had out there that they're not telling us. And I mean, that's like any other company. Like if Netflix or Disney Plus is working on a movie, they're not going to list the movie out on their website to watch if it's not done yet. So same thing with Jurassic World.
They'll wait until it's ready, until they know that they can confirm it, because I don't think the Indominus Rex was ever, confirmed to the public, was it?
Well, they were about to open. Remember, they were going to open in May.
Marketing-wise, I guess they should have been advertising it then.
Well, they had Verizon Wireless.
Yeah, they were ready to sponsor it as well, weren't they?
Yeah. So I think, but it wasn't really ready to the public yet. They may have teased it a little bit, like, oh, we're going to have a new attraction in May. But like, when it comes to these dinosaurs, like that's why the Allosaurs are probably so young in Fallen Kingdom. Like they were, I mean, I could be wrong. They have growth accelerated stuff, but you notice how there's no adult Allosaurs in that movie.
Yeah, when you think about that, that's actually really weird because if the island blowing up takes place in 2018, the absolute latest that the Allosaurus could have been cloned would be December of 2015. That's the absolute latest. And with accelerated growth rates, we've seen for Bumpy, it took her to get to a late subadult stage through 6 months.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's like an extreme example because there's a lot of petting zoos in Jurassic World with younger animals, and we also know that they did do controlled breeding in Jurassic World because in Fallen Kingdom there's like an infant Triceratops, so obviously it's not like a clone, it's hatched out of an egg. They could have even, what they might have done on Jurassic World was like clone a couple of Allosaurs and then just use those as like a stud thing to breed more and lay eggs. So maybe they hatched out in like 2015 or maybe even 2016, and they're just a couple of years old in Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, that's a
good point.
Or they're second generation and the older ones have already died or gotten lost or something. I mean, who knows?
Well, something's happened. The main thing is, I don't know how we got to Allosaurus and Jurassic World.
We talked about that a lot.
But yeah, so Atrocioraptors, Jurassic Park 3 Raptors, there's going to be a connection there, undoubtedly. There's no way, like similar how Scott Creamer said, there's a good chance that this Spinosaurus could be the same one from Jurassic Park 3, talking about Camp Cretaceous, obviously. The same way he kind of teased that, I feel like that they're doing this through the website.
Oh, which by the way, we should mention, we already know they've been taking dinosaurs off Site B because of the TV show.
Yeah. So it's not uncommon. We have Rexes, Dilos. I don't know if the Velociraptors were taken from Sorna.
It's possible. I mean, they could have cloned those too, but the Spinosaurus most definitely was. And I mean, if we've got ankylosaurs and pteranodons out in the wider world, like they came from there as well.
Exactly. Undoubtedly that's going to be playing a part. And again, the similarities between the Choice Raptors, Jurassic Park 3 Raptors, something's going to happen there. And I made a video recently describing this and saying how it's possible. And hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't want to get anybody excited out there who have high expectations. But, there's a possibility. Whether it's in the movie or not, it's another question. But there is a possibility. Like every other dinosaur, there's a possibility.
Yeah.
But again, any other dinosaur could also lead into Spinosaurus, which we kind of have an answer to. So if you don't want any kind of spoiler to whether or not the Spinosaurus is in Jurassic World Dominion, I'll probably put a timestamp on the screen where you can skip forward to. But yeah, we kind of have an answer to that, and I guess we can discuss it now.
How do you want to go about doing this? You can.
Well, let's just say the new website's intriguing. When you play around with the image URLs and you type in Spinosaurus, interestingly, an image does pop up. No, it doesn't show the Spinosaurus and it doesn't show the Spinosaurus silhouette, but an image does pop up, suggesting that they do plan to have something for the Spinosaurus there. Now, we're only going to touch up on this briefly, but recently, I don't know whether to call them leaks or not, but on the safe side, there are some leaks out there showing some sort of silhouette for the Spinosaurus with the same Dino Tracker website, field guide kind of thing.
Right.
I won't put it on screen. You guys have probably already seen it through Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. It's growing. But I think it's inevitable that, big role or not, the Spinosaurus will probably be in Jurassic World Dominion at this point. What do you think?
It's possible. I'm actually going to play devil's advocate and say maybe not.
Ooh.
Because, although this is a hard argument. So there is evidence of the Spinosaurus being in the marketing for Jurassic World Dominion. And we do know that in Camp Cretaceous, they did take the Spinosaurus off of Site B. So we haven't seen it yet, but we know that at this point, it's all but confirmed that the Spinosaurus is on the way for the website. So whether let's play devil's advocate and say Spinosaurus is not in Jurassic World Dominion. Let's just say it's not.
I don't like that idea.
It will it will still have been on the site, and it will still have been in Camp Cretaceous season 5. So whatever they're doing, they've got big plans for it. We do know there's more movies that are being planned. So this is the earliest we've seen of canonical Spinosaurus imagery that is new.
Yeah.
Apart from, and what I mean by that is live action. Obviously we saw it in Camp Cretaceous, but Spinosaurus at this point is all but confirmed, and I guess we're just counting down the days until they show it
something.
On the website,
tease something.
Yeah, but it's coming.
I think it's safe to say that. I really do, and that's not the only evidence we have to support this. I made a whole video about this. If you want a in-depth answer to this question, but one of the reasons that I pointed out was that once you do go through the secrets of this website and go through the Biosyn section, there is something called Project Regenesis. Now, to a complete full stop here, Project Regenesis was basically the amalgam testing, right? It was like Coryphosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Anki, Spino, all of those dinosaurs that were in JP3 that shouldn't have been. They weren't reported, let's say. Now, Alan Grant says that he doesn't remember the Spinosaurus being on InGen's list, and it makes him think what else they were up to. But what if it wasn't on InGen's list because Biosyn were actually behind the creation of these dinosaurs?
It's very, very possible. It's a good theory.
Taking a strong look at Project Regenesis. Let me see if I can get it up on my computer real quick. But just looking at it, you kind of get a feel that there is something larger here, and it's not just how do I put this? It's not just something like it's a passing comment. InGen created this, or maybe Doctor Who created it, and it was just a mistake that they don't talk about. But it actually has a name. It's not just nothing. It's got a name. It was Project Regenesis, and it was through leaked Biosyn files through this website. So Biosyn are aware of it, and I think at some point they describe how somebody created it, which I can only assume might have been Wu. I can't confirm.
Yeah.
But I assume it probably would have been. But the fact that we now have new information that this whole Project Regenesis thing introduces that the Spinosaurus, Coryphosaurus, Ceratosaurus, and Kylosaurus, and any other dinosaur that wasn't on InGen's list, was actually tested and created via Biosyn. That's intriguing, don't you think?
It's very intriguing, especially with the name Project Regenesis, which has like a double meaning. Like, we know that the Spinosaurus was part of R&D for Jurassic World. So, regenesis, regenerate, you're getting back into the rebirth of Jurassic Park. So if Biosyn's connected to that, very shady and very interesting, because it would line up with what we've talked about before in the past, with Biosyn having their hands in the InGen in places that we didn't know. But let's not forget that Regenesis, the name, also comes from the canceled Jurassic World origin story, or Jurassic Park origin story, I guess I should say, that they had really high level CGI done for around 2017, 2016. It was basically the story of the 1994 cleanup on Nublar. Dr. Wu was present. A baryonyx attack on the mainland led to an expedition to Jurassic Park in order to figure out what had gone wrong, and they found that the raptors were breeding and all kinds of other stuff. But it looks like that name has been repurposed for the amalgam testing for Jurassic Park 3, which is now talked about being related to Biosyn. Dr. Wu is obviously working for Biosyn in the new movie, so there's a lot of interesting lore here that it seems with each Jurassic World movie, we get a little bit more information surrounding the Spinosaurus's creation, if you know what I mean. And at this point, it does look like it was done, more shadily than I think anyone really thought.
Yeah, it's something that I didn't really think I'd learn about. Again, as I said earlier in this video, I mentioned how I liked the secretness of not knowing what was going on in Jurassic Park 3. There was just something there, but you don't know what it was. And now we're kind of relaying back, and I really love flashbacks, but I hope that this movie is not full of them, because I guarantee there's a good potential that there's loads of plot points that weren't mentioned in future sequels. So it's not impossible to have flashback after flashback to get an understanding, but it's easier just to mention something and let the viewer's mind kind of imagine what happened and what took place during that time. So with Project Regenesis, same thing is going on here, where something happened. We thought it was InGen, then it wasn't on InGen's list, so then we thought it was Dr. Wu this whole time, and now we're getting new information that suggests that Biosyn were behind the creation of it all. And again, links back to Jurassic Park 3, and undoubtedly everything that we've mentioned in this video, it's an overwhelming majority to Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, it really is.
Do you see any other movie that links kind of more? Obviously, besides the main ones like Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, like they link heavily. But any of the original 3?
No. Well, we got to remember Jurassic Park 3 was the last one that came out, but even that movie didn't have a lot of ties to Lost World or really Jurassic Park.
Especially there was like a different side of Isla Sorna, because one was redwoods in the Lost World, and then this one's more like a tropical area.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dominion's marketing is really hammering home a lot of Jurassic Park 3, which is interesting because it's like I said, it was kind of treated like the redheaded stepchild of the franchise for a very long time.
Yeah.
It was seen as the odd one out. But this film really is mining a lot of that lore and mystery for the movie. And I think what's really interesting about it is like Isla Sorna, just the connection between Isla Sorna and Biosyn alone is
It's enough to say.
That
yeah.
explains.
It explains so much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But again, there's so many things for Jurassic Park 3 that connect that there's no way you can't say that Jurassic Park 3 isn't important for Jurassic World Dominion. And I'm hoping with the future movies, series, whatever they plan for the future, we kind of get a more in-depth lore, even like prequels. I would love to see something to do with the Isla Sorna facilities getting raided, or where they try to evacuate the island, trying to survive that. Maybe a short series, 5 to 6 episodes of that. That'd be awesome. Don't get me wrong, it would be fantastic. But undoubtedly, Jurassic Park 3 is very important for Jurassic World Dominion. It's the only movie... Heck, I'm going to include Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I still think, including those two, Jurassic Park 3 is the most important movie leading up to Jurassic World Dominion.
Well, it's interesting because Spinosaurus, I mean, obviously they're throwing another big theropod at the T-Rex, this time the Giga.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also, this is completely unrelated, but it kind of is related. The like dorsal spine thing that the Giga has, if this is somehow Spinosaur related, it would make there's something there, man, because that is just so odd, like in comparison to everything we know about the Giga. But like that,
I expected some spikes, but not to over exaggerate.
It's close to a sail. Yeah. I could very easily see someone saying, "Oh, it's an Acrocanthosaurus."
Oh, I've seen people say it's an Acrocanthosaurus.
I mean, I would love for them to go into the canon and say that this is a very rare event that we cannot explain, where a missing link of Giganotosaurus species made its way to North America, and they could call it like Giganotosaurus maximus.
I was making a video about that, and if you look at like some details in the trailer, you can see in Alan Grant's tent, he's researching the Giga, he's learning about the Giga and its fossils, and he's in North America whilst doing so. So I was thinking, yes, technically you can call it Acrocanthosaurus in a way, but I was thinking, what if this is a species specific to this movie universe where there is a Giganotosaurus specimen in North America? And then, I don't know, I guess you can try to link the prologue where after killing the Rex, the Giga went on and died, and the exact Giga cloned later down the line is the one we see in Jurassic World Dominion. Something like that could happen, but...
No, but I mean, there's a lot of different things you could explain. It could be a genetic mutation.
Yeah.
I mean, animals have that happen to them all the time. Like, who knows?
Well, thank you so much for popping on to the channel again, Klayton. It was nice to discuss Jurassic World Dominion, because we've got less than a month. I'm not going to do the maths. I think for me it's 15 days. For some others it's 25 days from the time of recording. So we're not that far away, are we?
No, it's coming quick.
I know, it feels like forever led to this moment, and especially
it's
for you, because you wanted this Jurassic Park 4 for much longer than I was even alive for. So for you guys,
well, I mean, yeah, like you gotta understand, Jurassic World Dominion's plot and outline is pretty much what all the fans were talking about for the 4th Jurassic Park movie back in like 2010.
Yeah, so
it's very interesting that we're finally getting to see Jurassic Park 6 unfold this way. It's exciting, and I can't believe after 2 years of the production and the filming and the pandemic and everything, we're finally getting it. I feel like the movie's already come out.
Yeah,
so
it's exciting. It's right there. You can reach over, but you're not quite there yet. But nonetheless, we don't have long to wait. Jurassic World Dominion's right around the corner, and this whole video was about why Jurassic Park 3 was important. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, be sure to press the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more Jurassic World Dominion content. And if you want that little bit extra Jurassic World Dominion content, feel free to head on over to Klayton's channel, where you can find a link in the description down below, because I feel like it's you're the godfather of Jurassic lore at the moment.
Oh, Jesus. All right, yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah, so
I just make videos. I'm just a fan.
Hey, we're all fans. We're all fans. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.